pain, chronic, specifically bladder pain, but it can be any pain. Maybe I have bladder pain, I have pelvic pain, I have just about every pain below the belt that you can think of. So, yeah. So I'm here to help with that, what I'm going through and what you may go through if you're having this. I'm doing joint needling right now, which is being done by University of Iowa. That's at the other hospital downstairs in the lower basement. Yeah. Just got questions about Dr. Wilson, which is weird. I'm gonna have to email her tomorrow or later today. The idiot at Lithium, Grant Random, told me to say hi, but when he played Lit, oh no, it wasn't Lit, it was Steal My Sunshine. Steal My Sunshine. When did that become a 90s grunge song? Of course I'm going to change the channel. I don't want to hear that. That was like a graduation song or something for 1998. Oh god, that song sucked. Anyway. Enough about that. I don't really care. I'm just saying that Dr. Wilson doesn't want to do another nerve block when she's done so many of them. And she said 3 total. What, 3 in a year? I don't understand that because she's done so many of them. But maybe she's kind of reached the end of her rope with this. I don't know. That's not what she was kind of saying to me in September, but maybe she wants to give that another shot. I don't know. Maybe it's going to take more convincing from Mary. Maybe. Mary's the physical therapist I see now. And she's a temporary physical therapist versus Kim, who's my long-term physical therapist. Except Kim doesn't do joint needling. Everything sucks. Looking at the Game of Thrones. So when I watched Game of Thrones season 3, it was way back in like 2013, and my life was totally different back then. I mean, somebody brought up something this week about how 2010. Yeah, in 2013, my life was totally different. I was working security. Did I work in security? I was working security for a government contractor. My life was totally different. I did not have Eva back. Eva had moved to Des Moines, and of course I wasn't going to move with her. And then, I didn't really want to move with her. And then, I was not involved with Sharon Tate as much as I am now. So, things have changed drastically, and when I think I give that episode a 9 out of 10, which I don't know if I will give a 9 or a 10 now. The last episode of season 3 is called Misa. That I'd probably still stick with a 10 with, but I don't know. Anyway, long story short, I'm not the same person I was back then, and I would probably not get the same scores as I did. Game of Thrones is still one of the best shows on television. I think Dexter is better than Game of Thrones because Dexter has way more episodes, and Dexter has had more spin-offs, especially with Resurrection, which was like the ultimate. I was like the best. And that's weird because it didn't have Jennifer Carpenter in it. So, but, with that, Game of Thrones being a distraction, last time I went all the way through was right before House of Dragon. I watched it all the way through, and then I watched House of Dragon, season 1, season 2. They're coming out with season 3, and then the Night of the Seven Kingdoms comes out in January, and that's about Sir Frederick, I believe, from the Game of Thrones world. I don't know what HBO does another one in development, but I can't really talk about that one because it gives away too much. That's beside the point. Game of Thrones is actually a distraction. My reactioners acts as a distraction, and I found a PSA, by the way, of Sharon Tate on conservationism, which I'm going to play. I'm going to make a video about it. So I think that's going to come out before this one does. Maybe. I don't know. But I am renewing my Sharon Tate thing for the year. So it's like it's almost like $150 now they want for flowers for 4 times a year. That's nice. This is what Sharon does to me. Anyway, moving on to my reactioners. So, for the first time, the charismatic voice pissed me off. Something royal. And it had to do with Guns N' Roses. I'm not a Guns N' Roses fan. What Axel Rose did to Sharon Tate and her family, actually to the Tate family, was nothing short of horrendous. He only cares about himself. It's all about him. It's not about the victims of this. He ripped off a Charles Manson song and put it on the Spaghetti Incident album. He wore a Charles Manson t-shirt. That's not cool, dude. Seriously. And then what had happened afterwards? He went into he had a nervous breakdown. Stephanie Seymour, the model, left him. And then he went into obscurity. Chinese democracy was a total... It didn't do anything. And then, the first volume I bought, and I threw it away, and then, or I might have sold it, and then I didn't volume 2 and 3, I didn't even bother, because the first one sucked. And honestly, this is what happens when you mess with things that you're not supposed to mess with. He messed with a curse. It's a curse. I have tried to warn charismatic voice about this curse. People come on front and they say they support these bands or whatever. Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys was heavily involved with the Manson family, and he died of a drug overdose in 1980, early 80s. So it's a curse. Even the land where it happened, they knocked $19 million off the asking price because people think it's cursed. I don't make this stuff up. Check it. I don't make it up. So, charismatic voice, she's on Guns N' Roses, and Axel suffered the consequences. It's like a shadow or a cancer that spreads, and it's gonna spread. She can't say that she was never warned. Kat watches horror movies, has sprung up, and I've watched just about everything there is to watch on YouTube about her. All her YouTube videos. And my friends want to go higher in the echelon to get her full-length videos. And I was like, okay, we need to wait until the government stops shutting down and us, stop feeding people or giving people gift cards. It's just, that's gotta stop. So, that all has to stop first. And Kat watches horror movies, and the PIV are like awesome. They can't do wrong with me right now. They're the best there is. I don't care what Cassie watches at this point. I'll just watch her. I think we're gonna knock a couple of episodes off of Game of Thrones because Eva doesn't really want to watch them. If Eva doesn't really want to watch them, then I don't have a choice in the matter. much as I go with her, it's better not to argue about these things. So, but my big shout out to the charismatic voice for all the rest of the songs she did, besides Guns N' Roses. Big heart out to PIB, Cassie and Carly, and the entire crew that does that. They're awesome, even though they didn't do it on Sharon Tate, which I don't care about, because we watched it anyway. So, mistakes happen. I do mistakes all the time. That's why I'm here. Why wouldn't she do another one? That just seems so odd to me. Alright. I gotta stop talking about that. I need to address that with her. Anyway, I'm talking about Dr. Wilson. Is the last one helped? The last PIB injection helped. Alright. Anyway. Time to do it. How much time I got left? Yeah, they're gonna come and drain me. I gotta go. They're gonna come and drain me. It's been great. I hope I will see everybody before Thanksgiving, before we leave for the Dominican Republic. I'll see you all in less than 2 weeks. Alright. I love all my subscribers. Big heart out to PIB and to Cat Loves Horror Movies, or Cat Watches Horror Movies. Alright. Everybody, peace out.
All the sweet green icing flowing down. Someone left the cake out in the rain. I don't think that I can take it, 'cause it took so long to bake it, and I'll never have that recipe again.